Hey, yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Boogie back again with a new video. I'm so sorry for my voice. It's still not great. Obviously, having the weekend that I had my sister's wedding last week, so I missed out on the video last week. Again, apologize on that one. But we're up in the mountain, cold, so your boy's got a little bit of flu-like symptoms. I'm all good. Everything's perfect. And yeah, and then having a massive weekend, so like rolling into my missus' sister, well, I'm going to call her my other sister, her 21st birthday. So shout out to Brooke for your wedding. Congratulations, you and Rodney. Amazing. And shout out to Ebony. I'm so proud of you. 21. Well done. All right. So the video, as we know, same thing as last, from the start. Basically, we go through the weekend of footy. I didn't get to watch too many games, watched all the highlights though, so I got a little bit of idea what was going on in the games. And then top 3 fantasy performers, so we'll go straight into that. First game, we had the Broncos beating the Knights 36-12. Top 3 fantasy performers, we had Selwyn Cobbo with 88, and he's becoming a star. Tyson Frizzell with 68, and Katoni Staggs with 68. Next game, we got the Tigers beating the Bulldogs in a pretty close affair. Tigers winning 36-22. Top 3 fantasy performers, we had Matty Burton with 74, Marshall King with 69, and Offa Hangawi with 60, who's continuing a pretty hot streak in fantasy at the moment. Next game, we had the Eels beating the Sea Eagles 22-20 in a pretty controversial sort of ending of the game, but it is what it is. Unfortunate for Tommy as well. So we all, hope Tommy's all goods. He's a star in this game, so it sucks to see a star go out like he did. Top 3 fantasy performers, we had Ryan Madison with 73, we had Lachlan Croker with 73, and we had Ruben Garrick with 66. On to my Warriors, and obviously not the best game ever. I think we've all come to grips now that we aren't a top 8 team at the moment. We may grow to one later on in the year, or we may even, next year. So it is what it is. We'll just keep going through the seasons and just search for positives and where we can build on our season, because there is positives there. Top 3 fantasy performers, we had Sean Johnson with 80, Zach Lomax amazing with 67, and Tautau Amone for a guy that's really cheap at the moment, 64. If you got him a week before, he was looking at like 230k, so big pickup. In a pretty surprising game, and I watched all this, is fucking amazing game. We had the Cowboys beating the Storm 36-6. Top 3 fantasy performers, we had Nanai with 68, we had Drinkwater with 60, and good old Robson continuing his great form with 58. Next game, we got the Roosters and the Panthers beating the Roosters 32-12. Top 3 fantasy performers, we had Nathan Cleary, the stud, with 85. We had Jerome Luai, 71, Luke Keary with 68. First game on your Sunday, we had the Rabbits and the Raiders. We had the Raiders beating the Rabbits 32-12. Top 3 fantasy performers, we have Damien Cook with 77, Big Papa with 71, Hudson Young with 58. And last game of the round, we had the Sharks beating the Titans 25-18 in pretty close game at the end there, but the Sharkies being too classy. Top 3 fantasy performers, we had Blake Brayley, who's having a great season, with 77. Nico Hines with 69. Esan Masters with also another 69, and a great showing from him. And so this is the main part of the video. Obviously, I didn't get to do a video last week on talking about the team list and who I traded in and traded out. Obviously, you didn't need to trade in, trade out, but I traded one person, and as you can see, I traded out Kobe Hetherington for Luke Garner, and fortunately, that actually pulled off a decent trade there, because Kobe's been kind of downtrending for a little bit now. I think he's hitting baseline at the moment, where Gardner, at the moment, he's been playing center and he's been killing it at center. And they moved to the edge, his preferred position on the weekend. And his defense and his attack's awesome in both ends. So I thought it was a great pickup. And I think he had a really low break even. So if he got something decent this week, it's going to be a decent price range. So I'm really happy to see him get a good game as well with 58, and yeah, continue on. So before we go through the team and how we perform one by one, both our games at head-to-head, we pretty much dominated at the moment. Shout out to Shano, sorry Bella, but yeah, decent showing now. I think he had a couple of injuries, unfortunately. But yeah, we're sitting pretty in the game league here with third. Casual fantasy first in the YouTube league that we just created, sitting second. It's just an open league, so basically, if you want the code, I'm pretty sure I put it in the comments in the last one. Jump in the league, and yeah, basically we don't play head-to-heads in that one. We just go overall scores. So yeah, but yeah, back to my team. So this is the way we looked in the weekend. We scored 915 points in a great showing from us. Overall score 87,000. We have jumped up in rank quite substantially. I think we were 32,000th last week because we didn't have the best showing in the world. and a couple other boys had a really good showing. Round 11 rank, we were 4,926, so that's a pretty good score overall. Still got 18 trades with that one remaining on the weekend, but we'll go through 2 again. And then my salary cap, we got $1,000. So obviously there's a couple of ones that I'm going to be looking at trading out this week. 2 names definitely. Tamalolo because of injury. Unfortunately, he hasn't been performing the best for me anyway. It kind of sucks that I traded him in thinking that he was going to get into form, and everyone was kind of thinking that in a way. And unfortunately, with the injury, he couldn't get into that form. And the other one is Kelma Tuilangi. Yeah, the last couple of weeks, he's kind of losing his minutes, losing his spot. I think last week he had a decent game. This week with 12. And especially with Luke Gardner playing that edge position. I think we play by teamless this week, I reckon. We wait out for that, and then we'll see what our trade happens then. So the wing fullback positions, we had Teddy with 56. We had Crichton with 52, and Nico Hines with 69. And I think that's a pretty decent back line there. Maybe later on we could put someone else at wing fullback there, and maybe put Crichton back into a centre position or something like that. But at the moment, all of them performing really well. Obviously, Teddy's going to get Origin duty soon. Maybe Stephen Crichton, who knows, depending on now Turbo out for the season. And Nico Hines possibly getting that 14 role. So depending on that, it could put my team into shambles for a week or so. But, we'll have to wait how we see and maybe preempt something, or, it'll be all right. My centre positions, we had Tago with 49, and then we had Penasini with 58, both scoring pretty decently. Tungo is still going to score around that 49-50 at the moment, and Penasini is actually scoring really, really well at the moment. So keeping them around until I start to see a downward trend in some sort of position, or maybe even jump up to someone that's better. But I don't think there's too many really, really high scoring centres other than like a Ewan Aiken or something like that. So, and even this week he didn't do crazy. Obviously Matthew Burton as well. But in your halves, we had Nathan Cleary, and he's back up to form again, getting me 170 and captain. Fucking amazing. I think he was 85 overall. So great showing from him. Scotty Drinkwater was 60. Back to where I want him to be scoring, around that range. Obviously the low 20s, and that was because of the rearranging and not getting them fantasy points. But I think he's vital for that Cowboys team, and this is the reason why I put him in. And obviously I don't see him going Origin at the moment, so he's going to be my person to cover over Origin period there. Jeremiah Nenai just keeps growing into a star at the moment, 68 points. Before, I was kind of wary on trading him out maybe, because a lot of his points used to just come from whether he has a try or not in the game. But he's still he's decent in defense, and his run meters are okay over the period. So I'm definitely keeping him in. Unfortunately, Tuilangi with 12, not the best ever, but we'll keep moving. As I said, with him, I'm waiting on Teamless. With Tamalolo, it may look like it's going to be for a while. I haven't seen what the NRL physio has put up yet, but I would say he's out for quite a bit of time, maybe. When Tamalolo goes down like that, it's obviously not the best thing in the world. Tamalolo with 8, Adam Fanua-Blake with 41. I'm pretty sure he came at the end of the game with a foot injury, but I'm sure he'll be good. Adam's pretty strong player, and I don't see him resting too much. I think he'll be good for next week. Hopefully, if the list comes out and he's off, then we may have to sub him out for a Max King or our Adam Elliott there. But we got cover, so it is what it is. And Payne Haas back to 53. There is sort of a trend at the moment with Payne Haas at the moment. He's not really getting his full meters or all that sort of stuff, because the Broncos, all as a collective, is playing well. Obviously, he has to share a lot of his. I think basically he's come off and gone, well, if I share with Carrigan, all that sort of stuff, we seem to be winning games that way. So 53 is still amazing, but he's not being as dominant as what he usually is. So it is what it is. And Reid Mahoney with 56. He's been awesome for me at the moment. As I said, he's really consistent. There is other hookers out there that are scoring crazy good at the moment. Reece Robson is an awesome one. Obviously, Harry Grant was doing that before, but he's getting chopped and changed at the moment, so it's a bit tough. Damien Cook's also an awesome one to have up there as well. But for me, Reid is so baseline. He just gets me 50s, and I'm keeping him there for that. So I appreciate him. So this is how the bench turned out. So Brendan Smith with 29, obviously not the best. And again, with the starting role, I'm still holding on. Obviously, I do see him getting a decent role over Origin period, and I see him playing a lot better. I think in this game was just, they got put on a backward step. A lot of players are out of position, and they were chopping and changing. And we saw Brendan Smith come on, off, yeah, it was a weird game overall, but you know, I'm still holding strong with Brendan because I don't see him dropping too much, and like I see a bit more upside in him around the Origin period. So hopefully he can, and we'll see how we go. Max King with 33, awesome. It is what it is with him. Like, you know, 33 is still really good. I don't know whether to keep holding on or not, but I'll say we'll keep holding on. I think he's been an awesome player for the Doggies at the moment, so we'll keep him there. Luke Garner with 58, amazing. I love picking him up like that. Adam Elliott with 43, really good game to come back on. And Adam Elliott obviously coming back on the flu. I probably see him doing a little bit more later on. So I think he's getting that starting 13 role at the moment with Haraway and Ara out a little bit. So 43 is really, really good, and I'll keep him around definitely. So our emergency is Blake Taff with 11, obviously not scoring the best. He's so up and down at the moment, so I don't see too much cash from him, but it is what it is. He's my cash cow. Like, he's going to be generating some sort. Kohler with 25. You know, it is what it is with him. Again, he's another one of those. And Wishart, he's getting a decent amount of minutes, but obviously not scoring the best, but it is what it is with him as well. When they find their opportunity, their chance, they're classy players. They'll score pretty decently, and that's where the cash will rise. Especially with Kohler, like with Tommy out now, whether they go Ruben Garrick full-time fullback, or they'll have Kohler as a full-time fullback, and that's where I think we'll see our point. So yeah, obviously I want to say sorry for my voice, number one. Number two, sorry for the video not last week. I just didn't have time at all. We were out pretty much all week last week mainly, and then came back on that Friday night or Friday. And then obviously we were just, you know, running around everywhere, and then we had a 21st. So it is what it is. I know you guys are all good with it. Like, I'm still young. I'm still a growing channel. So it is what it is, but we keep consistent now and building into the season. But definitely the two questions coming into this one: Jason Tamalolo, whether he stays, and Tuilangi, whether he stays. So we'll see that in the next video. We'll see what the team lists say. We'll see what all the injuries are like. But yeah, here's for another week. Boogie squad, let's go. Peace out.